You're 8 years old and there's foil in your hands. Inside it are 10 cards you haven't seen yet. Any of them could be the one. And right now, 1 second before you tear it open, you are happier than those cards will ever make you again. 20 years later, those same hands are older. It's 3 in the morning and they're hovering over a mouse button. He is about to pay more for a piece of cardboard than most people pay for a house. It was printed in 1952. It weighs 2 grams. He will never touch it. $12.6 million. And before you call him crazy, look around your own house, the shelf you can't throw out, the box in the closet. You've done this too. So the question isn't stupid. Why do humans collect things they will never use? The obvious answer is money. It's an investment. People say it like it settles the question. But watch what an animal actually does with a treasure. A magpie finds something shiny, carries it home and keeps it. It does not send it away to a stranger to be graded and sealed forever. A squirrel buries its nuts, and in winter it digs them up and eats them. A human buries his cards in a vault and never digs them up at all. No animal on Earth keeps 14 copies of the same object it will never use, except one. And most collections lose money. Investment doesn't explain the man at 3 a.m. Something older is running underneath. Now some of you are thinking, this is just marketing. Corporations invented nostalgia to sell us plastic. Fair, except the oldest collection we've ever found is tens of thousands of years old. In a cave in South Africa, archaeologists found seashell beads, each one carefully pierced with a hole to be strung together. The nearest coast was kilometers away. Someone walked that whole way, gathered the shells, then sat and drilled each hole by hand with a stone. That was 75,000 years ago. Not for food, not for warmth, to own a matching set of beautiful things. The urge is not modern. It has been with us since before writing, before farming, before money existed at all. 300 years ago, a London doctor named Hans Sloane spent his life collecting books, coins, plants, shells, oddities. When he died, he owned over 70,000 objects. He left the whole hoard to the nation. That single man's private obsession opened in 1759 as the British Museum. Every great museum on Earth is a private obsession that outlived its owner. Pharaohs took their collections into the grave. We've always done this. But here's what nobody tells you. Collecting was never a human invention. In the forests of Australia, there's a bird called the bowerbird. The male builds a little stage out of twigs, and then he decorates it. And he is picky. He collects only blue things. Blue bottle caps, blue pegs, blue straws, a blue flower. He arranges them just so, and he guards them. He never uses a single one of them. He can't eat them. He can't wear them. He just displays them to be admired. Sound familiar? So if a bird does it too, it isn't really about the object. It's about a button deep in the brain. And neuroscientists found the button. He measured the brain's reward chemical, dopamine. And he found something strange. The chemical doesn't spike when you get the reward. It spikes just before, in the moment of wanting. The high lives in the second before you open the pack, not in owning the card, in hoping. That's why a sealed pack feels magic and an opened one feels flat. A sealed pack is every card at once. The moment you open it, it collapses into just what you got. It's the same machine as a slot machine. Pull the lever, maybe you win. A booster pack is a slot machine you're allowed to hug. There's a second trap, and it lives in the gaps. Once you own something, your brain quietly decides it's worth more, just because it's yours. Your record is special. The identical one for sale online is overpriced. Same object, the only difference is the word mine. But the cruelest trick is the empty space. Your brain does not count the 149 cards you have. It counts the one you don't. Unfinished thing will not let your mind rest. A finished collection is a quiet you can't quite reach. So you chase the last piece. And when the last piece finally comes up for sale, watch what people will do to close the gap. And somewhere along the way, someone noticed that button in your brain, and they built an entire industry around pressing it. Rarity used to be an accident of nature. A card survived a house fire. A stamp was misprinted. Now rarity is a setting on a machine. Accident could make something priceless. In 1856, a print shop in British Guiana ran out of stamps and rushed out a crude 1-cent replacement. One survived. That single ugly little stamp is now the most valuable object by weight on Earth. It last sold for over $8 million. Nobody made it rare. Time did. You can now pay a stranger in gloves to look at your cardboard, decide it's perfect, and seal it in plastic. You buy it, and in return, you agree to never touch it again. And they made the pack infinite. A child taps a glowing screen, and the same ancient button fires, over and over with no bottom to the box. Rows of identical chests to the horizon, the instinct harvested at scale. One game alone has printed more than 85 billion collectible cards. That's more than 10 times every human being alive. So who is really doing the collecting here? You think you're gathering objects, but your attention, your hope, your wallet, checking back again and again. Those are the rare items now, and they are being collected. So knowing all of this, knowing the button, the trap, the machine, why do we still do it? Why can't we stop? Because a collection is not really about the things. Look at the shelf. The world outside is chaos, noise, things you can't control. But on that shelf, 300 things sit in an order you decided. It is a small kingdom where you make the rules. It's control you can hold in your hands. And every piece is a memory wearing a disguise. This record isn't a record. It's the summer you found it, the friend who gave it to you, the person you were that day. Almost 100 years ago, a writer named Walter Benjamin unpacked his old books and tried to explain the feeling. Ownership, he wrote, is the most intimate relationship one can have to objects. Not that the things come alive in him, it is he who lives in them. And there's one more thing underneath. A collection is a quiet argument against death. Sloane died, the British Museum did not. Something he arranged is still arranged 3 centuries after his heart stopped. The collector is gone. The order remains. To collect is to whisper, I was here, and I put these things in order, and maybe the order will remain when I don't. So go back to the man at 3 a.m., paying millions for a card he'll never hold. In the daylight, ask him which card he loves most. It won't be the $12 million one in the vault. It'll be a bent, worthless one with a crease down the middle. The one he had when he was 8. Because you were never really buying cardboard. You were buying back the person you were when a piece of cardboard was enough. So ask any collector what they fear most. It is not losing the collection. It's finishing it, because the empty slot was never the problem. The empty slot was the engine. Fill it, and the wanting, the real collection, quietly dies.